So, listen, regarding this whole Obama was handed this and Obama was handed that, and he's doing a good job with what he was handed, and seems to me that, let's see, what is that, around 27 million people, 26 to 27 million people were on food stamps from around at least 2005 to 2006, 2007, and most of 2008. Between 25 to 27 million people, roughly. And ever since then, it's been kind of creeping up there pretty good. And in recent times, as of from April, May, June, July, August, September, etc. of 2011, starting in May, there were 45 million people. So 26 or 27 million people have turned into 45 million people. That's almost doubled. And we've been hearing lately, you know, things are slow recovery, but there's a recovery, and this and that, and the jobless claims aren't as bad as they could be, and they, you know, blah, 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 nonsense. And as of June, as far as this chart goes, June 2012, yellow, yeah, listen, did I just see June 2012, the highest number of participants? We use a kind word I had to think about for a second. Is June of 2012 showing the largest amount of participants in the food stamp system? Yeah. You do realize we were told there was official recovery in April of 2009. The official recovery. Kind of reminds me of the 9/11 official report that completely left out Building 7 because they couldn't explain why Building 7 fell the same way World Trade Center 1 and 2 fell. As a matter of fact, the same way, the same fashion, the same defying of physics, laws of gravity, everything. Not necessarily the laws of gravity. Laws of gravity worked real well that day. But the pancake theory, that nonsense. How do you have a pancake theory on a building that wasn't hit by a plane? And how do you have it fall at free fall speed? In other words, nothing is below it each story, right? That same kind of report. The official story is a lie. And the official story here is also a lie. Official recovery of 2009. 2009 of what? The year 1000? 1009 or 2009? Where are you guys referring to, official recovery? Maybe just the year 09, you know, right after Jesus' time, you know what I mean? So, here we are breaking records. It has not been as high ever as it is right now. Or at least as far back as this chart goes anyways. And if you want to know what that looks like, it starts off in October 05 and ends in June of 2012. Here's a little sneak peek, sneak preview from JSnip4 to my people. That's what that old girl looks like. And as far as I can tell, I just don't think that's gonna, do you see anywhere in there where it's actually like going down? You know what I mean? Like there's some kind of trend that shows it's gonna start going down. I do see this right here, this little mark right here. It went down from this month to that month. So up, never mind, it's back up again, etc. So no, doesn't appear to be getting any better. And then we have regarding that same chart, very interesting chart. I love this chart, actually. Participating households and benefit per household of the food stamp system. Participating households, and this goes from the year October 2009 through June of 2012 also. June of 2012 again. Right? This is the participating household. So as of 2009, this is the trend line. Right? Month after month after month after month. 2010, 2011, 2012. kind of matches that first chart I showed you naturally, because again, this is the participating households. So obviously that would go up. But here's another interesting line on that graph. Benefit per household. So how much are these food stamps benefiting each household? In 2009, it helped. It definitely helped. And in 2010, 2011, 2012, holy crap, what happened here? The food stamps, which bought you X amount of goods back in October of 2009, just a few years ago. 3 years ago, according to this right now. It bought you a decent amount of food, apparently. Fast forward to June of 2012, and it's gone down pretty significantly. And as far as the numbers go, it says $293 has gone down to $276 on average. So the amount is going down, therefore the amount you can buy is going down, etc. And as we've all seen in the grocery stores, those prices aren't coming down. They seem to be creeping up or staying the same, and then you read the can and say, hey, didn't this used to have 7 ounces in it? Now it says 6.5 ounces. Oh, now it says 6 ounces, but it's the same can. Same can, same size can, physical can, but the contents inside used to be 7 ounces, now it's 6.5 or 6. So it's deceiving. Well, it's the same size, kind of like the bag of chips. Look at this big old bag, a giant monster-sized bag of Doritos. Let me open this up. And the air comes out, that fresh smell. Yeah, Dorito. And you look in there, and you need a freaking flashlight to look down to the bottom of the bag where all the chips are. So you have this much chips, the bottom of the bag, and then, you know, this much air at the top. That's your full bag of chips, by the way. So what do they do too? The same thing. We just remove the ounces inside. So the bottom of the bag, the part you never, ever, ever look at that tells you how many ounces are in the bag, we'll just lower that a little. Half an ounce here, another ounce there, and keep the prices the same or going higher, and reducing the contents in the bag, but keeping the bag itself the same size. Why would you do that? Well, to deceive people, because you don't want to have to let them know times are tough, and we've got shareholders, stockholders, members of the board that don't want to see their stocks declining. Even if we're in a recession, even if we're in a depression, we still got to show good numbers. So we will be lowering the amount of goodies inside the bag, but keeping the bag the same size to trick you into thinking you have the same amount in that bag. And we might even raise the price slightly. Sorry about your luck. That's how that works. And a final thing we have here, to just kind of end this on just a great note. Global median inflation since the year 1209. And then 1900 up to approximately 2009. The year 1209. 1200, 1300, 1400, right? 1900, the year 1900, the year 2000, that's what I'm talking about. We are talking hundreds of years. Global median, average, etc., inflation since 1209, the year 1209. Let me just, what was that here? This is going to be this one you want to pay attention to for right off the bat. 1209, right? 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, and then seems interesting right here, right after 1900. I mean, just right after that, we get this little spike thing, then a little downward thing, and then just straight up. I wonder if that's going to correlate with when the private Federal Reserve banking system was created. Just out of curiosity. Let's go to this next chart. There's World War I. First little arrow. And then right here, this arrow pointing downwards, German hyperinflation kicked in. And then right here, we got a little arrow going that way, straight across that way. I don't know if you can see that very well, going right where my finger's going. And it is pointing to the same point about right around World War I-ish. Just slightly before it, technically. And that's saying that's when the Federal Reserve was created. So here we have this little blip. Little World War going on, little blip here. German hyperinflation. Next thing you know, World War II's right around here. Doesn't even matter anymore at that point. It says U.S. suspends U.S. gold convertibility, etc. right around here. Doesn't matter anyways. Straight up. So that's what you're seeing here, except a zoomed in picture over here. That's global inflation. Again, when we say the US dollar has lost over 90-something% of its value since the Federal Reserve was created, they are not kidding. That's really what that means. And because currently, right now, they, the elite, control the prices of everything that you could really look at to gauge where we are, such as commodity prices, the stock market, all that stuff, it's all controlled. It's hard to tell, like, we should be seeing this, this, and this, but we don't see this, this, and this because these things are controlled. They're not responding the way they should, which would tell the telltale sign of, yeah, we are not in a recession, we are in a depression. But they control the prices of those things. So in a sense, you could say, well, that's kind of a good thing, isn't it? And actually, kind of, yeah, it is, because they can control the price of food by doing so. However, as all manipulated things are, and controlled things are, it never lasts forever. The control never lasts forever. The manipulation never lasts forever. I think that's coming home to roost here shortly. And as their dollar fiat system dies, so too will that controlling market system die. And the real price of things will finally get let loose. So, unfortunately, that might mean really expensive food prices coming in the future. Really depressed prices of your 401k, your stock, etc. That kind of thing. And I'm going to do another video, although I don't need to actually do it like in my car or anything. Somebody sent me a video and said I have their permission to use this video, the one I'm going to be doing, showing you. And they have found a way for you to get out of your 401k via the old, what was the term he used? Basically, if you qualify for a hardship kind of thing, and there's an actual term he used, but he said I can post that, and it's a how to get out of that type of thing. And I think I'm going to download that and put it on my howto.tv website, even though it's not ready yet. It's almost ready, so don't use it yet. Because it is a good how-to. How to get out of your 401k. Perfect. Mr. Howto.tv. Yes, we will put it right over there. Because it is a great how-to. So, these charts, this stuff I'm showing you right now, this is now. This isn't like make-believe or where we think it could be going. This is now. And the amount of people on food stamps just broke records under Obama's watch. Oh, with what he was handed, he's been doing... What? Now what? Now what? It's gotten higher. It broke records since he's taken over. Matter of fact, it's been breaking records the whole time he's been in office, by the way. It just seemed to kind of peter out there at the top. Okay, little hub, little hill. It's got to be going down now. The recession's ended. Nope. Broke all records all of a sudden. Ain't that interesting? So again, these people, as Gerald Celente has said flawlessly, perfectly, when they've run out of all of their ammunition to fake, flounder, whatever, fake out everybody with this economy, and the real numbers start coming home and the real reality kicks in, they take you to war. When they can't do anything else to bump up the economy, bubble it up, do anything else left, they take you to war. There's always an enemy. They'll make sure that by the time they go to attack that enemy, there's already enough knowledge in the society of that country to understand we hate that enemy. It's time we go kick their butt anyways, not even realizing that what are the chances that a recessionary, depressionary period's about to kick in. The recovery was false, it was all phony, and by chance, there's always an enemy. Iran, we should have leveled that place into a parking lot so many years ago. Syria, we should have already stepped aside from the UN and been in there to help those innocent women and children that we always hear. CNN had a great story today. CNN, oh, lady was holding her little 4-year-old or whatever in her hands, and a stray bullet flew through her coated window, hit the child in the face. It was a stray sniper bullet. And then CNN went on to say it came from the housing area of where the rebels are. What? You're actually gonna tell the truth and say it was from the rebels? No. I had to keep reading. Next sentence, same paragraph. But a pro-government group has been known to infiltrate and live within that same area, and it could have been them. I think they even worded it to where it was probably them, not it could have been. It was like, the wording was, it was more likely them. We know it came from the rebel neighborhood, but there are pro-government groups that infiltrate in there, and that's probably who did it. Because why would a pro-rebels area, which is where this happened in, why would the rebels do that to a pro-rebel area? They wouldn't want to make enemies with the people, right? That's what CNN said. In their own words, that's what they said. Therefore, it must have been an infiltrated pro-friendly government group that got inside the rebel town and then shot at a civilian population through a glass that they said was painted or something you couldn't even see through. And luckily for them, hit the girl in the face. They took her to the hospital, and CNN tried to talk to them. We knocked on the door. They wouldn't allow us in to speak to the parents. 2 days later, we're sad to report the child has died. Women and children. Women and children. How many times do I gotta tell you guys? Women and children. Women and children. It is such crap. And if a stray bullet went through this person's window and killed their child, it was not from a pro-Syrian government personnel. It was from the rebels. It came from their area. Have a nice day. CNN, you can try to spin this crap as much as you want, but when our government uses Al-Qaeda, the terrorist group, etc., that we're supposedly hating, to pretend to be the rebels and pretend to do things that are called rebels, not Al-Qaeda, not Taliban, we don't want to use those words, and they are, those people have their ways of thinking, their ways of doing them. They are, quote, terrorists. Therefore, how do you expect to pretend to use a terrorist group, call them something different, such as the rebels, and not have that backfire on you? And when it does backfire, we just roll with the CNN story that a pro-government group, and they gave the name of it, has been known to go in and live in that particular area, a house here and a house there. It's very probable that they are the ones who shot. That's basically what CNN was saying. In the first two comments I saw when I went and scrolled down, because I just couldn't wait to see what the sheep had to say about that, were actually comments saying CNN and you're using propaganda. What? Next comment, CNN, with a lot longer of a comment, you are using propaganda in this story, blah, 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 went on to explain it, boom, 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 boom. That sounds interesting, because I remember back in the day when I used to do research 9/11 inside job type documentaries, and you'd see the people's comments. Most of the comments were, you know, you guys are a bunch of terrorists yourselves. How dare you say that about America? It was terrorists that did this. You guys make me sick to be Americans saying this, blah, blah, blah. They would just badmouth anybody who commented about what was truthfully being watched in the video of buildings falling straight down at free fall speed, which is a physical, scientific, physics impossibility unless the floors are blown out before the top comes down. Then in that instance, it would come down at free fall speed. Can't even have a discussion. People are trying to call you names. Then years later, I'd go back to the same video, and a whole line of different comments were there. Before, we were outnumbered like, you know, 9-1, 10-1 or something, of bozo sheeple trying to tell us we're terrorists and we're unpatriotic and this and that. Now you go back to those same videos, and it's the opposite. 10-1 people are finally awake and understand that that had to be an inside job of some level. Certainly wasn't terrorists that pulled that off. Then again, it was terrorists. The problem is the terrorists aren't who you think they are in the Middle East. They're actually local. So now it's opposite. So now I'm seeing CNN comments like that. People actually going on to CNN and commenting saying this is propaganda, I'm not buying this. Whereas before, sheep comment, we need to go help those people in Syria. We need to overthrow Assad. He's a dictator. We need to... Yeah, okay. Now it's the opposite. And I'm glad I'm seeing that, because that is a sign that people are waking up. What is interesting is how would CNN allow that comment to even be posted? I don't know, but that's great. So anyways, take care.